The desolate expanse of hollowed highways stretched out before me, a labyrinth of asphalt and shadow that seemed to extend endlessly into the night. Each twist and turn of the road whispered of forgotten secrets and whispered legends, drawing me deeper into its eerie embrace. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long, ominous shadows across the landscape, I felt a shiver crawl up my spine. The name itself, Hollowed Highways, seemed to echo with the weight of the countless stories whispered in hushed tones by locals. Despite my fascination with the macabre, I never imagined I would find myself entangled in the haunting of hollowed highways. With a sense of urgency gnawing at my insides, I pressed harder on the gas pedal, eager to escape the encroaching darkness. But fate had other plans. With a sudden, gut-wrenching lurch, my car sputtered to a halt, leaving me stranded on this desolate stretch of road. I cursed under my breath, frustration bubbling up within me as I stepped out into the thick silence that enveloped me like a suffocating blanket. The air hung heavy with a sense of foreboding, the only sound the faint rustle of leaves in the breeze. Ignoring the chill that prickled my skin, I popped open the hood of my car, hoping to identify the source of the problem. But to my bewilderment, everything appeared to be in working order, leaving me baffled and frustrated. With a sigh of resignation, I closed the hood and climbed back into the driver's seat, resigning myself to the fact that I was stranded on this haunted highway. As the night deepened, I found myself succumbing to exhaustion, the events of the evening weighing heavily on my mind. With a heavy heart, I reclined the seat and closed my eyes, hoping to find solace in sleep. But the darkness seemed to seep into my very soul, wrapping around me like a suffocating blanket, suffused with whispers of the unknown. I don't know how long I slept, but when I awoke, the world was cloaked in an oppressive blackness. Panic clawed at my throat as I fumbled for my phone, desperate for any sign of life. But to my dismay, the screen remained blank, devoid of signal or hope. With trembling hands, I reached for the door handle, determined to escape this nightmare. But as I pulled, the door refused to budge, trapping me inside with the darkness that seemed to pulse with a life of its own. As I sat there, trapped and alone, I became acutely aware of a presence looming just beyond the edge of my vision. It whispered to me in a language I couldn't comprehend, its words like shards of ice piercing my mind. Terrified, I closed my eyes, willing the apparition to disappear. But when I opened them again, it stood before me, a shadowy figure wreathed in darkness. Its eyes gleamed with a malevolent light, filling me with a bone-deep terror. I screamed, the sound echoing through the empty expanse of the highway. But there was no one to hear me, no one to save me from the horrors that lurked in the night. As the specter drew closer, I felt my sanity slipping away, consumed by the darkness that surrounded me. And as its icy fingers closed around my throat, I knew that I would never escape the haunting of hollowed highways. But just as despair threatened to engulf me, a glimmer of hope pierced the darkness. A distant light appeared on the horizon, growing steadily brighter as it drew closer. With a surge of relief, I realized that I was not alone. The figure emerged from the shadows, its features illuminated by the soft glow of the approaching light. It extended a hand, offering salvation from the horrors that had ensnared me. With trembling limbs, I reached out, grasping hold of the outstretched hand. And as I was pulled into the light, the darkness receded, banished by the warmth and safety of the newfound company. As we drove away from the haunted highways, leaving the darkness behind us, I couldn't help but wonder what other secrets lay hidden in the shadows, waiting to be discovered by those brave enough to venture into the unknown.